He's hurt. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Indian Hill Tomahawk Stadium in tonight's game between the Indian Hill Braves and the Wyoming Cowboys. We're a little technical difficulties, getting a little bit of a late start. No score yet. This is the Braves' second possession. I'm Tony Harris, here with my partner, Brian Shaw, a man who can make a weeping willow laugh. And that's Ben Sichel keeping the ball and going around end there, getting about 7 yards. Brian, welcome.
Well, thanks, Toe. It always seems to come down to Braves and Cowboys, doesn't it? And Devlin Daniel on the sideline, Toe.
Yeah, Devlin just tried to field the punt from Wyoming, and a little hitch in his giddy up here, and hopefully he'll be okay. He's kind of walking it off, and hopefully he'll have many. He did have a couple carries the first series. The Braves went. Did get a couple first downs on the first drive, punted the ball. Wyoming got it on their own one, weren't able to do anything, and the Braves have it back now. And
so the Braves in that first possession did a really nice job of passing the ball and staying in front of the chains. Got in really good manageable situations until the end of the drive where they had a 3rd and 7 and couldn't convert. Did a nice job pinning Wyoming at its own goal line. Carter Rummel with a great punt to get it on the other side of the 50, and here we are.
Well, the Braves on 3rd and 1. That was Evan Riggs on that last run for the Braves. Ben Sichel is the quarterback, and Riggs gets tattooed there, man. 2 Wyoming Cowboys surround him and attack him behind the line of scrimmage, and the Braves will be for a 4th and about 3. Are they going to punt?
So
Devlin Daniel's coming in the game.
Yeah, this Wyoming defense on this series, you can just tell the confidence level. Daniel really puts a little bit of a fear in you as a defender, and they don't have it so far this series, but Daniel's back in now.
Devlin had 14 yards rushing in the first series that the Braves had, and now he's in the backfield. This is his first play here in the second series, and he takes it, and he will not get there. They were stacked up, and they stack up Devlin.
So, and you don't like the body language right now. Wyoming playing with a lot of emotion right now coming out, and you know, John Rodenberg talked about it. The first team that has a little bit of a hiccup can mean a lot in a game like this. So coming in here, thinking about the coaches, a battle of state champion coaches. Aaron Hancock in his 13th season at Wyoming, 142-19 overall, but a staggering 84-4 in the CHL. Those are crazy numbers. Braves trying to get their just 5th win against the Hancock team tonight.
Now, Dupuis is the quarterback, and he hands the ball to Hancock, and Hancock breaks a tackle. Almost another tackle, and Joel Hancock, if that name sounds familiar, is the coach's son, fine senior running back, and he gains about 7 yards on that carry.
And here we're going to, I guess, get a replay. No, doesn't look like it. Hancock involved on just over half of the plays offensively for Wyoming, and accounts for about 6 out of 10 yards.
Dupuis hands it again to Hancock, and he gets the first down and a little more.
Nice job by Hancock getting the control of that. Little difficulty on the exchange. Cowboys fairly diversified. We saw him throw the ball down to goal line quite a bit. 2/3 of the time they'll run it, 1/3 of the time they'll pass it. Indian Hill, on the other hand, this year, about 3 out of 4 times they will run the football. Well,
and when they run it, it's about 3/4 of the time is Hancock. So he's the workhorse. They also got to be careful at number 1, Josiah Golt, as the leading pass receiver in the league on yards per catch. And he's a very, very dangerous young man, number 1. There's another one to Hancock, breaks a tackle. And the Braves stack him up.
Hancock doing a great job avoiding Robert Hayes right there at the point of attack. Hancock made a slight adjustment and able to avoid what could have been a negative play for the Cowboys. Cowboys upset with the end of that play. Hancock getting tossed on the ground, but great job by Hancock to start that one. Getting out of the way, I'm sorry, of Aiden Rippey. Rippey had a shot at him and able to avoid it.
Well, Wyoming's had 3 plays this series, all handoffs to Hancock, and he has 17 yards rushing in those three carries. Here's another one. Oh, it's a pass. That's out there to Lyons, the backup quarterback. The Braves are able to stack him up after a short gain.
So one of the things I really like about this Wyoming squad, they make you defend so much. From a defensive standpoint, you really have to account for a lot of guys. You mentioned Galt, the speedster, kind of shades of Willie Galt, if you remember back to the days with the Chicago Bears. But Lyons, a totally different type of target, 6'4" guy. And then Hancock, boy, they throw it to him out of the background. Wyoming's always had good screen game, the draw game. They just do a lot and really make you account for multiple positions.
3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, long one. Dupuis checks off here. Obviously, the key is a timeout for Wyoming.
So you look across the sideline, you look at that Wyoming sideline, 51 players, only 15 of them are upperclassmen, only 9 of them are seniors. Indian Hill with 42 players on the roster, 21 upperclassmen. So this is a young Wyoming team. It's young in the skill positions. The quarterback's a sophomore, leading wide receiver's a sophomore, but that interior line anchored on the offensive line by a freshman, and he has been fantastic. Tate Bartlett really making this thing go for the Wyoming Cowboys.
Well, and they've got a really tough lineman with a whose name is familiar. They've got Jess Ewer, who anchors both the offensive and defensive lines for Wyoming, who's a tremendous player at 6'3", 265. And the Braves faced his brother many times. There's Quade Ewer, who's a tremendous quarterback for Wyoming and linebacker. So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree in that family.
Quade now playing college football down at Georgetown College, the home of Kevin Seipel, former Indian Hill coach.
3rd and 2, and there is a... Let's see, what's the call? They're coming over to Coach Rodenberg to discuss it, and we'll see what this adjudication brings us.
Well, that's the Argyle Sox League in Philadelphia talking right there, Tom. Tony, we talk about these coaches. We mentioned Coach Seipel. It's alumni night here at Indian Hill in the south end zone. Dozens of former players and coaches here to cheer on these Braves. Week 9 in the CHL.
Well, there's Hancock, and he scoots and scatters and gets it up, but he goes down.
Yeah, that looks bad. Hey, Toe, these two running backs, I mean, terrific players, Hancock and Daniel.
Showing a lot of pain here in his knee.
Yeah. And these guys, it's those plays like what he just made where he's getting positive yardage. And that's not easy to replace. You bring another guy in and they just don't have the feel for the game, the ability to always get positive yards, fall forward. And this does not look good.
No, Mr. Hancock is hurting for certain here, and the training staff out to attend to him.
And so the thing you hate to see the most is the disappointment, slamming his hand on the ground, knowing how much he means to his team and how important this game is and the rest of the season as a senior.
Well, it's interesting. We had the two-star running backs in this league. Devlin Daniel got hurt on that punt and wasn't able to participate in the first several plays for the Braves, and now Joel Hancock down, and now he pops up.
There we go. Sometimes, Toe, these guys, you experience something you haven't experienced before, and there's a little bit of anxiety glad to see him up and moving around. And the same thing with Devlin Daniel. Daniel out there on defense, so let's keep these guys on the field.
Devlin's out there on defense. He's out there on punt returns. And we've said before, he sells popcorn at halftime.
Yeah, you know, but if he were having trouble with that ankle when he came off the field, they wouldn't have him back out there. So good indicator that he's feeling good. Let's hope for the same with Hancock.
Jackson Hamilton is in the backfield now, and he does not. There's going to be a pass. Dupuy and broken up, overthrown Galt, and nice play there by Dylan Hartman.
So that's
sure nobody was going to catch that ball.
That's the third play, the third throw down the field by David Dupuy, and he's had launch angle issues all 3 times. Had a ball down the sideline to Galt that I think was more of a timing thing, just let it go too late. But then had Galt in the middle on a post in that first series. Missed him by a mile, flat ball, and the same thing there.
And here comes it back, another pass.
There we go.
Little link screen, oh my. Donovan Brown, and he gets a first down and then some.
Donovan Brown, the sophomore in tow. It's what they do with these screen passes. That's a program first down right there. It doesn't matter who's on the receiving end of it. Wyoming Cowboys able to execute and pick up a very big first down.
And Mr. Hancock back in the game for Wyoming at running back.
It's all you can ask for, Toe. Get all the best players on the field, see what happens.
Dupuy takes the snap, hands it to Hancock, and he gets up, and he's hurt again.
Yeah. It's right there again. I know we're bigger issues here with the injury, but that'll sort itself out. Once again, difficulty with the exchange, but you got a senior and a leader and a vet that's able to make that look seamless. I doubt very many people even saw it. Guy that just tremendous football player. You just hope he's okay.
Oh, that's the end of the first quarter. No score. So we did miss the first series for each team. The Braves marched down the field and they were not able to convert on a fourth down situation, punted it down to the Wyoming 1. Wyoming wasn't able to get a first down. They punted it to the Braves. And that's when I think you guys were able to join us. But again, as expected, Hancock and Devlin Daniel, the 2 most dominant runners in this league, 2 of the most dominant in the city and maybe even in the state. And we expect them, if healthy, to both get a lot of carries tonight, and it's how the defense is going to handle it.
Yeah, I think coming into this game, Toe, you wondered about Indian Hill. Could they basically get Wyoming off the line of scrimmage, maybe throwing the ball just a little bit to give Devlin Daniel a compliment to his running attack? And, you know, so far they've done a great job. Short pass game, giving themselves some opportunity. Wyoming, you come into this on the offensive end, much more diversified, a lot of guys involved, and, you know, you knew they were going to be okay. The other thing with this Indian Hill team, really good offensive line. So even if Wyoming does come up, you wonder, can they run the football even if Wyoming loads the box just by being physical? We'll see how it all plays out. So far, nothing to report but Wyoming driving.
Well, it can't remember where the camera is, but Hancock being helped off the field by a couple of the coaching staff, and
so he's not putting any weight on that right knee.
Doesn't look good for him at all.
Yeah, he's being carried.
And there's a shot of it.
Hate to see it. Sometimes you see the team rally when you lose a leader like that.
Well,
so Jackson Hamilton,
number 6, will be
sounds
getting
rather presidential, doesn't he?
It's 2nd and 5. Hancock did get 5 on that first carry, and let's see what the Braves can do. with Wyoming down on the Braves 15-yard line on a 2nd and 5.
And Wyoming much, much better than Indian Hill to be able to withstand that kind of injury to your feature back. Mention this offensive line. 3 seniors, a freshman in the middle at center, and a junior at left guard.
Dupuy hands it to Hamilton. Makes a nice move and gets the first down.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see Hamilton. You know, plenty of talent. It's just a matter of reps. How many times has he run the ball and does he get in the feel of it? So far, only 19 attempts coming in. He's had success. 116 yards, averaging over 6, and 2 touchdowns. So he's gotten in the end zone. He smelled it.
But just 19 carries in 8 games, but he's 5'10", 210.
Yeah.
210 in this league. That's a big, big back.
Yes. It's how where that shows up is if you get past that first wave, you got safeties going up against a guy in a 15-yard collision at 210. That's tough.
And Hamilton will carry again, and he'll go around end. And the Braves push him back here. But
so Wyoming with the big playbook this part of the field with the size of Billy Lyons and far side with Josiah Galt. A lot of options here at 1st and goal.
1st and goal on the 9.
Looks like we got a unsportsmanlike face mask. And maybe we're going to have half the distance here.
Oh, boy. I say 1st and goal on the 9 is not a bad place to be defensively, but now you cut that in half, and an untimely penalty for the Braves.
Changes the play call potentially a little here, Toe. Yeah, these 2 teams, once again, Toe, you know, it comes down to the end of the season. And just what you'd expect. This is why you put in all the time playing games like this.
Dupuy hands it to Hamilton, and he is pen-picked and shot out of a cannon. Comes up there, smells the play, and it's Hamilton for about a 1-yard loss.
Ben Picton, the senior, and this is a guy that's played a lot of football, Toe, and really good football player, and again, healthy here as a senior. He looks really good, too. Looks like he's in great shape.
2nd and goal from the 6.
Trips over here on the right, Toe.
Yep. Dupuy and Hamilton in the backfield. Dupuy rolls out. And it's incomplete, and Dupuy was knocked to the ground there by Jackson Fry as he was throwing.
I suspect if Dupuy had that one back, you know, you want to take care of the football. You certainly, with Carter Rummel, you don't want to give up the 3 points you've got now. But, boy, you got a big target out there. Let him go up and high point that thing and threw the ball out of bounds.
So 3rd and goal from the 6.
This is where having a guy the size of Billy Lyons, 6'4",
yep,
playing both wide receiver and defensive back.
And they've got 3 wide on the right, and now another timeout.
It's kind of funny, Toe. Reminds me of the days when John Rodenberg was coaching Sam Hubbard at Moeller, and Sam was playing safety. Similar type frame.
You think the Bengals will do that this Sunday? Wyoming uses their 2nd time out of the half, so they have just 1 left with 9:54 still remaining. But this is a big play.
Yeah, so taking a look on that other sideline just to see, you know, I don't see young Mr. Hancock over there. Of course, the Hancock family has got an older brother playing at Kenyon College. Terrific academic institution. They've sent quite a few guys in recent years to places like that. Got a guy playing at Carnegie Mellon, the older Hancock playing at Kenyon, a kid playing at Bowdoin, which is a terrific school, and then Rose Holman, the engineering school in Indiana, and Terre Haute. Coach Hancock doing a great job sending his kids where it's a good fit. course, Indian Hill got a couple of guys playing right now. 11 players the last 4 years have gone on to play in college. Wyoming with 20 in the last 4 years to play in college.
Hamilton and Dupuis again in the backfield, and it's a fake and knocked down. Wow. George Vollmer was beaten, and a drop ball, and the Braves escape.
Yeah, so that's a tough one because it's hard to cover a slant right there at that part of the field. And Dupuis put it on him, just wasn't able to bring it in.
4th and goal from the 6.
Rummel on the season doing a terrific job. He's 5 out of 6, longest of 40 yards, and 39 out of 40 on the extra points. We mentioned that because of the proficiency on the snap, the hold.
The 23-yarder. And he bangs it through. So Wyoming draws first blood.
Nice job there by Billy Lyons on the hold. That ball up a little bit, but kept his hands away from his body, handled the ball beautifully. And, boy, they've had good kickers like Indian Hill. You know, I mean, you think back, Sergio, a terrific kicker. Carter, a terrific kicker. And, of course, you know, the legacy, we talk about it all the time here with Luke Lundberg and Alex Grace. And, you know, both these teams have been blessed. And in tight games like this, competitive games, boy, that kick game and the punt that Rummel had earlier in the first quarter from his own end zone, big plays.
Well, now the Braves will get it back for their third possession here of the game, and down 3-0.
So we mentioned the coaching, and Aaron Hancock coming in at 142-19. He would be third now on the all-time Wyoming list. At the top is Bob Lewis. Of course, Bob Lewis was there forever. 198 wins, only 27 losses. A state title, 11 unbeaten teams. He, in fact, had a 1962 team that was unscored upon, but won 88% of his games, which, just by comparison, when Jerry Faust was at Moeller, 178-23, he won 88% of his.
Oh, no. Well, the Braves are fooled on a short kick.
So it appeared Braves player maybe didn't understand that he had to go make a play on that ball, that it's live. Been so many changes in rules recently, I can understand a little bit, but you got to go get that. Actually had a similar situation a couple of years ago with a Braves player that played 1 year of football that was back on that return in a similar part of the field. And really, Toe, those are guys, they're not quite the hands team, they're not the return guys. You kind of get into that middle section, and you can get that every once in a while.
So Wyoming back on offense, and with a 3-0 lead. Dupuis, Jackson Hamilton, and here's Hamilton again. And he rumbles and stumbles and gains about 5 or 6 yards on first down.
Tony, the thing you love to see about that is, we mentioned, you know, only 19 carries coming in. Does he have the feel of it? And boy, you couldn't tell, only 19 carries on that run. He is riding the hip of his offensive tackle, number 56, Hewer, and looked very comfortable toting the rock.
There he goes again. Braves able to stop him, but a short pickup. We'll have a 3rd and about 3.
So just finish up on those Wyoming coaches. Bob Lewis, again, incredible career. Bernie Berry also ahead of Aaron Hancock at the moment. 182 wins, 54 losses. And he had more than 300 total wins when you include his time at Beechwood. A Wyoming graduate that went over to Northern Kentucky and then to Wyoming. So really just an incredible run by 3 coaches to make this the winningest high school football program in the state of Ohio. And it's the 48th meeting between these two teams. and Wyoming holds a 33-14 advantage.
All right, well, we have Dupuy and Hamilton again in the backfield. Going to the right, and the Braves stop it. So it'll be an interesting call with 4th and 2, maybe 2.5.
Yeah, I think a little bit outside the range, and no reason not to go for it. Plenty of ways to pick up 3 yards. This sophomore quarterback, very poised, so hasn't thrown the ball great so far, but we know he's thrown the ball well for the year.
He's going to pass it here. He's got an open man. Overthrows it. So Josiah Galt was open, but the ball a little over his head.
So we got the Wyoming offensive coaches below us. I don't know if they're going to need to send him a bill for that, but unhappy. And so really, I'm not sure what the issue was down there in the coach's box, but that's a really tough throw. And with a lot of risk to it for a 4th and 3 with an offensive line like we're seeing with Wyoming. And a big kid like we're seeing with Dupuy, or I'm sorry, with Billy Lyons. You know, you put Lyons in the middle of that field. Braves not blessed, we've talked about it all year, not blessed with long wideouts and long defensive backs.
Braves take over, 1st and 10 here. Devlin Daniels, and there's no room for him. He goes out of bounds. A very short gain.
So short side of the field, don't want to make too much of that because it's tight over there. But Devlin Daniels didn't get to that sideline the way normally I see Daniel get to that sideline. Let's hope he's doing okay. Tonight we mentioned the alumni. It's also youth night. Youth football players, youth cheerleaders here at Indian Hill. Excited to see the next generation.
And throwing it to George Vollmer, and it is intercepted by Tyler Johnson Huff.
So Sitchell threw that one with authority. It just happened to be to the wrong guy. Not sure what the issue was there, but nice job to corral it by Wyoming and put themselves right back in business after missing that 4th down.
The Braves hadn't had the ball very much tonight. It's 7 minutes and 15 seconds. That drive was 2 plays. The previous drive was just 3 plays, and time of possession certainly not in the Braves' favor right now.
Yeah. If you're Wyoming right now, you're saying we've been down in this area plenty tonight. Time to get in the end zone.
I think it's pretty tight. Dupuy and Hamilton. And there's Galt. Going to the right, doesn't see anything there, and he's caught behind the line. Fumble. The ball is out, and it is. And it's Wyoming ball.
So he got stood up and then still had the ball in one arm.
Drew Rader's hurt.
Yeah, not how they teach it right there. Lucky to get that ball back.
Drew Rader, the outstanding junior for the Braves on the line, he's coming out.
Looks like that's something with the
hand
wrist.
Or his wrist, yeah.
So Indian Hill already without Ethan Cole tonight and a couple of other guys out. But Drew Rader and Anchor both sides of the ball on that line and has been since he got here as a freshman.
Dupuy looking to pass again. And it is broken up.
So he's throwing into double coverage.
Yep.
He's got Lyons out here in the flat, wide open. You know, you just wonder with these guys, the fumble by Galds, you know, it just maybe a little bit of nerves. You know, there's a lot of young players out on this field. I mean, we seem to think that all these guys have been around, with the exception of Hancock. These are underclassmen for the most part, making plays.
Well, 3rd and 11 now. Big play if the Braves can stop them. 3 wide out to the left, 1 to the right. Dupuis looking to pass, and it's batted up. Oh, Picton can't get there in time. It was up in the air and falls in front. So, boy, with
Robert Hayes able to get in there and get the big mitt on it.
Well, from the 20, this is about a 45, 46-yard field goal attempt if they try that. Or it looks like they might be going for it.
Well, Toe, I think, the way this defense is playing for Wyoming, you can take a little bit of risk here at the 28, but could also be a little pooch kick. The other punter behind Carter Rummels kicked it twice is David Dupuis.
There's a lot of time since that ball hit the ground. We don't have a play clock, but boy, and is that Wyoming's 3rd timeout now?
Yeah, Wyoming being extra careful here in the first half. I like the timeouts, though, Toe. They've taken timeouts at big play situations. Just haven't done a lot coming out of them.
Wyoming uses their 3rd timeout of the half, and with 6:14 left, facing a 4th and 11.
The other thing you like to think about offensively is, boy, I tell you what, with a big target like a Lyons or a guy that can get behind a defense like a Galt, if you do turn it over down there, you're turning it over deep in the territory. Dupuis, though, coming into this game, the completion percentage is okay, a little over 55%, but it's the touchdown to interception ratio that you really got to respect. Comes into this game with 14 touchdowns and only 1 pick. So he's taken extremely good care of the football so far this year.
All right, back to the action.
They're spreading it out here, Toe.
Dupuis and Hamilton, 2 wide to the right, 2 wide to the left. Back to pass. And it's a deep one. Oh, wide open. There you call it, Billy Lyons. Their backup quarterback wide open on a slant.
So it seems like we talk about it every week. You got high school quarterbacks and coaches continuously asking them to throw to the far side of the field. Well, we have a situation here. We always talk about the middle of the field for a high school quarterback being a great place to throw the ball. You got a 6'4" target. Makes all the sense in the world, and Cowboys finally able to punch it in.
Well, Rummer now to try the extra point.
Another high snap. Great job by Lyons to get that one down. Not only Lyons, but I tell you, Rummer didn't panic. Took his time, swept through the ball very nicely. And so that's very hurtful. Braves 4th and 11. And give up the touchdown in that situation. But, hey, 10-point game is important just to get on the board, make it a 1-score game before we get into halftime.
Well, that would be nice. The Braves, again, have had 3 possessions. 2 of them were 3-and-outs. And, or actually, not even that. Had a 2-and-out with the interception. So, Braves need to get a little giddy-up going here.
Yeah, last year when these teams met, the Braves won it 21-3. But I think, to me, the thing that happened in that game, Daniel Rannett just loved this guy's IQ.
And that's... Well, they're surrounding Devlin.
And he throws a good ball. So it's a guy that's capable of doing it for him. And I think he's going to be tested here.
Yeah. The Ethan Cole, who's been the Brave starter most of the season, broke his ankle 2 weeks ago against Reading, and Ethan will not be able to play for at least 6 to 8 weeks, and his season in his essence is over. And Ben Sichel stepped up now and has played very, very well, and he's going to have to play even better than that tonight.
Yeah, Toe, and I think really, those guys are going back and forth the beginning part of the year, and it seemed like, Ben throws the ball really well, makes good decisions, smart player. Ethan runs the ball.
punching bag.
Well, welcome back to Tomahawk Stadium, and it's halftime here. The Indian Hill Wyoming game. Wyoming leads 10-0. The Braves hopefully will play a little bit more inspired here in the third quarter. I've got a special guest here with us, Tim Swafford, from Tim's Top 5. Anybody who follows high school sports in this area is probably familiar with Tim. Tim, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me tonight for this lovely CSL showdown between the Wyoming Cowboys and the Indian Hill Braves.
Now you come to multiple games every week, don't you?
Yes, I'm out a lot. I love the local Cincinnati high school football. The excitement on Friday night with the kids is unbelievable.
Now there were a lot of good games this week on Friday night. I mean, I know we have Lakota East, Lakota West, and several other really the Witten Woods Anderson game, but you decided to come here.
Oh, this is a big matchup right here. After what we seen last year with the Braves coming over to Wyoming and capturing the CHL title that Wyoming has had for the last, it seemed like the last decade, and the atmosphere here at Indian Hill, the crowd comes out and they support this team. It's an awesome feeling.
That's great. Now you live nearby, right?
Yes, I live in Madeira.
Okay. And you're able to come across Drake Road and join us here occasionally.
Hey, it's a quick 5 minutes here and a quick 5 minutes home.
Well, that's great. What do you think of the game so far in the first half?
I think it's a tight game. It's both teams right now are. I think the second half's going to be explosive. I mean, the Braves defense looked really good in the first half. Just got to get Devlin going, and Wyoming is putting a lot of pressure on the running game as well. This is what CHL football is about.
Now, both these teams are pretty high scoring, but not tonight.
No, it's a tight one. I knew it when these two were going to play in Week 9. I knew it was going to be a tight defensive game. Coach Hancock always has these Cowboys ready to play some hard defense, and we just got to get Devlin on the road right here in the second half, and make this game right here a good old game before the end of regulation.
Now, Tim, how can people follow everything that you write about and talk about with high school football in this area?
Just follow me at Tim's Top 5 Sports and Recognition on Twitter, and also follow me at Tim's Top 5 Sports and Recognition on Facebook. You will see that every Sunday night at 7 o'clock, I have a top 25 that I post, and where I rank all divisions in one poll. It makes it exciting because you do have the opportunity to see teams like Williamsburg, Indian Hill, Wyoming in a top 25 with teams such as Anderson and Moeller and stuff.
All right, that's the kickoff there. Braves are able to stop Jocelyn Robinson from Wyoming down to at the 20-yard line, and that's where Wyoming will take over. Well, Tim, thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully we've got another game next week, but I know you have other games as well you need to cover.
I'm going to be at St. Bernard and CCD. Then I'm going to stop back over here and check out the second half of the Indian Hill and Taylor game as well.
Okay. Well, let's hope that helps clinch the league title for the Braves if they can pull this one out tonight.
Oh, that would be a good one then.
All right. Well, Tim, thank you for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you at the end of the game next week.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank
Tim.
you.
Take care.
Thanks.
Well, that was the Braves stop Jackson Hamilton there for no gain, and it'll be 2nd and 10 here as we start the third quarter. And the illustrious Brian Shaw back in the booth.
So that was kind of nice. I like that idea, one poll with all the teams. Very nice.
Up, pass. And a first down.
Yeah, Lions, a big target over there on the sideline. Nice throw. by DePee.
He sat back there. He didn't have a lot of rush, not much pressure, and was able to deliver a strike there to the big target, Billy Lyons. That's an 11-yard gain and a first down for Wyoming. He hands it off, and a 1-yard gain there for Jackson Hamilton. The Braves need to get a stop here and get something going offensively. Braves have had a heck of a year offensively. They've 210 points I'm sorry, 294 points in the 8 games that they've played so far, but none tonight.
So absolutely amazing, the similarity of these two teams in the league as far as league competition.
DePee back again, and he has
big fella.
He's got Lyons and the big target, Brian, that you'd mentioned, and that's the same play and pass that he caught for the touchdown going the other way.
So you just look at that big target in the middle of the field, particularly 6'4", 225 pounds. The catch radius is tremendous, but also the fact that you're dealing with a guy that's a senior. He knows in that zone how to drag, how to get himself in space, make himself available. He's easy to see. Terrific.
DePee looking for this to the sideline now, then maybe changing the play here, a little bit of an audible. Braves haven't been able to get a big pass rush on. There's Hamilton, gets turned around there by who that was for the Braves.
Yeah, that's Drew Rader.
Nice
It just seems like the difference right now between these two teams. Wyoming gets into a 3rd and long. It's not a problem. They've got options. They can throw the ball down the field. And I think it has to do with these receivers. I mean, they've got different types of guys that do different things, and good play concepts when they get in the middle of the field.
Now Rader makes a nice tackle for the Braves. Let's get another one here at 2nd and 8. The pass over the middle there.
So Braves not tackling right now.
Donovan Brown and
yeah. And that we talked about Wyoming getting the ball coming out here in the second half, and so if they're able to put one in, that makes it a little tough for the Braves. All of a sudden, it's going to change play calling, going to change the approach that the Braves have in this second half, playing from behind. See if the Braves can bow up here and keep them out of the end zone.
Oh, that's inside the 1-yard line. That's on the 6-inch line, it looks like. And so the referee's coming over to Coach Rodenberg, and our coach is asking the referee something. All right, 1st and goal inside the 1.
I formation, Toe. Looks like we're going to get a little power game right here. I don't even think there's a reason to hand it off. Might just push him in.
Yeah. Up. And that's Hamilton. Jackson Hamilton around the left tackle, and he walks in.
Yeah, Toe, that big statement there coming out of the half by Wyoming, making some adjustments. Went down the field rather easily. And we're going to take a look at this here. Boy, don't you wish you had that much time before the snap? Get a good read of everything? Maybe that's what they ought to do.
And a big hole he had to go through, and
nice job.
Extra point goes through as well, and the Braves find themselves down 17-0.
Yeah, Wyoming Cowboys now 41 of 42 on the season with extra points. Until, just coming into this, when I was looking at the numbers on these teams, they're so similar. It's remarkable. As far as defensively, in league games so far this season through 5 games, Wyoming giving up 180 yards coming in, Indian Hill at 179.8. So we're going to say they're dead even on that. How they give them up's a little bit different. Indian Hill gives up a little bit more on the pass, Wyoming a little bit more on the rush, but there's still such low numbers. Doesn't really matter. Both teams giving up very few points. Indian Hill at 8.4, Wyoming at 11.8. Now the one difference I'd say, the remaining game for Wyoming and the remaining game for Indian Hill, a little different situation. Wyoming will play Finneytown at home and Indian Hill will play Taylor at home. Taylor a much better team, but really remarkable defensively. And then on the offensive end, both teams averaging about the same. Again, 367 yards a game for Wyoming, 344 for Indian Hill. How they get it's different. Indian Hill more of a run team, and Wyoming more of a pass team than Indian Hill is, but both scoring about 40 points a game. Hasn't been even tonight.
No, not at all. Whoa. That,
nice job by Freshwater.
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to get all the way out to the 30-yard line.
And he's thrown down, and the Braves will get the ball back again. Haven't been able to run too many plays. That first drive the Braves had, I don't believe our audience was there to watch it, but he mixed up the pass and the run and moved down the field pretty well. Missed on a 4th down, and since then have only run a handful of plays and. See if the halftime speech maybe gets these guys moving. Oh, there we go.
Uh-oh. I don't know if we're going to have a legal guy downfield or what that is.
That was Dylan Hartman with the catch. Nice pass there by Ben Sichel. And it's going to come back.
Yeah.
Nice to get Dylan Hartman involved in the offense.
Love the concept. Coach Reardon doing a great job calling, and I think he's put Ben Sichel in some really good situations to throw the football. And Ben's done a great job. Just need to keep that balance right now. 17 points, and I know Wyoming's moving the ball, but they can do it. Here comes another flag.
Yep. Boy, he threw that one way up in the air, that flag, coming from the opposite side. That was thought he was going to bring rain. And they're calling it again against the Braves. That's illegal motion, was it?
Well, so this is, and as much as 17 puts you in a play calling situation, these penalties now putting a little stress on your quarterback.
Yeah, and 2 plays that actually had some very positive yards, and now all they have to show for it is a -10 because of the 2 5-yard penalties.
Yeah, and let's not overlook this line for Indian Hill. It has been fantastic all year long. They can still lean on this. They can still run the football. Rader, Bass, Delton, Pohl, Rippey, and Hayes. Really strong. It's been the strength of this team.
Yep. Well, there's Jess Ewer and Devlin Daniel with no room to operate. Can't even get a step out of the backfield. So.
Yeah, so it just seemed to change too with regard to this Wyoming defense, and their confidence level just seemed to go through the roof after that punt return where Devlin came up and missed a few plays after it. Different looking Wyoming team than what we saw the first drive, and I don't think it's adjustments. I think it's just confidence level. Oh boy.
Oh my. Well, they went with an empty backfield. Devlin lined up as a wide receiver, and nobody there to protect Ben, and he goes down.
Nice job holding on to the football
Yeah.
By our quarterback. And I know John and Diane Sichel hate to see their son get snowed under like that, but that's football, they would say. Tough people, those Sichels.
See at least one of Ben's older brothers here tonight.
Yeah, alumni football night. Jack, and we didn't see Adam. Adam's still living out on the East Coast, I think.
Well, there's Devlin gets a chance to actually run for a change, and but with 3rd and 20.
So you can tell he comes out, and you can tell just body language. He's hurting.
Yeah.
Didn't keep him from lowering those pads though and running physically. He's just a warrior. He's just such a great kid. Really hate to see this tonight between, Devlin getting banged up and then Hancock being out of the game. Trying to come back and re-injuring that knee. Hope he's okay and maybe give him a week off against Finneytown, get ready for the playoffs. I think he could probably take a couple of weeks off.
There's Vollmer, and it's a short punt, but will they get a good bounce on it? And yes, decent bounce anyway, and so went from the 22, so that's what, 28 and for about 32-yard punt with no return.
Until once again, though, just because of where the ball started, I mean, Wyoming with a short field, really nice situation here where you can take some risks. And this is a team that's thrown the ball down the field a lot more than most Wyoming teams we've seen.
I'm sorry, it's 36-yard no return.
I think the people at home were they were hanging on that toe. You're about to get some really hateful mail about that.
I want to make sure George Vollmer gets credit for everything he deserves.
Well, those are the people I'm probably talking about. Oh, that's good. All right. So Lyme's going to take the ball here at the 42.
Handoff, and there's Jackson Hamilton, who may already have, we mentioned he had 19 carries coming in tonight, and he may be approaching that tonight.
Well, until, you start off the second half, and it's been tough sledding on the run game here for Wyoming. I'm sure they would love nothing more than to just grind up this clock, run the football, but every time they seem to get into a long situation, 3rd and long, 2nd and long, whatever, they seem to have a pass play available.
Second and 10.
We mentioned the opponents next week for Wyoming at home against Finneytown. The Braves will host Taylor. I'm going to tell you here, we have another timeout.
Another Wyoming, yeah.
That Taylor-Wyoming game, the first one, the time that they played this year was terrific. And the Braves are going to have their hands full one game at a time, but as we're looking toward next week, Charlie Kantz put 278 yards passing up on Wyoming. They only lost that game by 9 points, and they're within 20 yards as far as total yardage for the game. So Taylor clearly one of the top 3 teams in this league, and Braves will finish with that one. But 20 minutes of football here left, Toe, and down 17 points. Braves could use a little help, maybe a turnover at this point.
Well, the one opportunity they had was what could have been a pick six with Devlin Daniel. Couldn't quite come up with it, but it was right there to him. Love to see another one of those right now.
Well, if they continue to do a good job in run defense, the ball be in the air, they'll have their opportunities.
Dupuy getting ready to take the snap and hands it to Jackson Hamilton, and he's bottled up at the line of scrimmage and no gain.
Hats off these Braves, nothing doing in the run right now, and that's going to bring up 3rd and long, and that's going to put the ball in the air for the most part. Of course, we talk about it, Wyoming, a lot of ways to mitigate risk, and that screen game is a terrific way to do it. The difficulty with this right now, you got different guys that can do it. It's a program where kids understand, but boy, this is about the time you really love Hancock for that screen game. So speaking of Wyoming, I'd like to congratulate Finley Bartlett. Not sure if that's the center's brother or not, but a golf state championship for Wyoming. He'll be playing at OSU next year. OH.
Dupuy trying to get. No, he's going to be sacked.
Devlin Daniel.
Yes, it is. Devlin Daniel blitzing and outrunning Mr. Dupuy.
And look at him run back to get in to punt.
Yeah.
Punt return. You can tell it's not. He's not nearly 100%. Still good enough to track down the quarterback. Still good enough to get up off the ground and go return this punt.
And as soon as he returns the punt, he'll be good enough to get back in the backfield and hopefully lead the Braves to a scoring drive here.
You get the sense that about 50% of Devlin Daniels better than 100% of Tony Harris.
Well, yeah. I don't even think he needs 50. Oh! Evan Riggs came really close to blocking that punt, but rolls back, and the Braves will start at their own 41 or 42-yard line in pretty decent field position.
Speaking of Bartlett with that golf championship, that ball had a little bit of bite. It stuck and he rolled it back. I like that. Boys cross country also in the CHL. Want to congratulate Wyoming, number 1, Indian Hill, number 2, and James McGrath, basketball player here at Indian Hill. Look forward to getting him back in the gym at some point. He was the CHL champ. And, of course, girls tennis, breaking news, you'll be shocked by this. Girls tennis to the Final Four in the state of Ohio. They won the CHL.
Oh, they did? They won the CHL this year?
When was the last time they did not win the CHL?
Answer
that. Take a guess.
Oh, little flea flicker.
Oh,
Ben Sichel hit just as he's throwing it. Oh, God bless. And that was George Vollmer there almost coming up with a catch, but just a little bit underthrown because Sichel was under fire and couldn't quite get it to George.
So I'm surprised he put that ball 45 yards in the air when he had that pressure and got hit. And Lions fortunate in that case where the receiver didn't come back to the ball enough to put him in a PI situation. He had no idea where the football was.
Yeah. 6'4", 225-pound cornerback, huh?
The last time the girls did not win the CHL in tennis was 1996.
Oh, it's intercepted there by Justin Robinson, and he is going to go out of bounds
so
on the 25-yard line.
Freshwater, that ball intended for Freshwater off the hands.
Yep.
And Wyoming able to opportunistically take advantage. And they'll get down the sideline and back in business here almost in the red zone, 24-yard line.
Well, Devlin Daniel making the tackle on that, and that's a shame Devlin doesn't have a twin.
That's what they always say to parents, isn't it? Why didn't you have more of them? You know, it's interesting too, and you think about these siblings in this rivalry.
Dupuis handing it off.
You know, you think about
Hamilton.
these names over the years, and I guess we're between generations of the Martys. Looks like we're just in between. You know, you get the Rogers, the O'Garas, the Edmonds of the world. You know, Indian Hill side, same way. Kariakis boys, the Eicholtz boys. You know, you get these siblings. How many Oaks came through here? Of course, Oaks goes both ways, Indian Hill and Wyoming.
And I know one of them is watching our broadcast tonight, babysitting. Dupuis hands it again to Hamilton, and and there's going to be a penalty, usually where holding comes in. And if that's the case, that might be the first penalty of the night on Wyoming.
So other games in the CHL tonight.
It is holding.
Finney Towns at Madeira, and the report we got at the half was that was a 2-point game. Also at the half, we understand that Deer Park was up on Marymount. And did not hear about the Reading-Taylor, but Reading is at Taylor tonight. Tough year right now for both Madeira and Marymount. Two teams usually in the middle of that league and capable of beating most teams in the league, just not the case this year.
Dupuis getting ready to take the snap.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
Cool temperatures. I got a feeling that that field's a little slick. Freshwater trying to get to the quarterback and wanted to put the brakes on, but it was all gas, no brakes right there, Toe.
Dupuis having a great night at quarterback for Wyoming. He's really, without Hancock in there, he's had to really lead the charge and has done a nice job. Also, he's only a sophomore. As a freshman last year, he actually started for their baseball team. And The Braves obviously were able to win the league last year, but he holds off. He almost handed it off there to Johnson. Huff keeps it himself and is thrown down. And
yeah, Jackson Fry in there on that one. It told, I think it's a mistake to look at this Wyoming team and assume that this is a veteran team. They play really well and it's a good team, but this is a young team still.
Yep.
And they've got some veteran leadership to be sure, but this is a group that's poised to be good for a few years. And of course, they've been good forever. So
yeah,
put that together.
Looking forward to that. Dupuy going to throw it back.
Nice job
to Hamilton, and looks like
nice job
pass
by
interference.
I know he got called with the PI there at the end, but nice job by Penn Picton to stay home. Looks like he might have a cramp.
My goodness,
boy, that's a pass. If you're Wyoming, you're expecting to see a guy so open he could fair catch it, and not the case. Penn Picton did a nice job. Just unfortunately, got caught with his head the other way and a little bit of contact.
So with just 51 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, Wyoming in the red zone.
So looking back to those 4 losses in the CHL for Aaron Hancock, 2 of them came in 2015. The Braves got him over at Wyoming and then had a playoff game here, but he has returned the favor in 17, 18, and 19, where these two teams met twice, once in the regular season and once in the playoffs, and Wyoming swept those 6 games. Best streak for Indian Hill, 2002 to 2008, where they won 6 of 7. And a lot of those guys are sitting over there tonight, including Coach Kevin Seipel. Coach Seipel and Bernie Berry, that was the 2 of the closest guys as far as coaches between these 2 programs. Great friends.
Hamilton brought down.
So one thing you've got to be concerned about
Daniel.
for Wyoming going into the playoffs right now, at this point, I looked initially like they would keep running the football tonight when Hancock first went out. But, boy, I tell you what, this second half and really the end of the first half, nothing doing. Other games in the Cincinnati area tonight, a big one, Winton Woods at Anderson. Lakota East, another big one at Lakota West. And tomorrow we're going to have the Battle of Cleveland and Cincinnati.
Handed off to Hamilton.
Oh, now that's nice running right there, Toe.
And he runs right through a tackle and a touchdown on the last play of the third quarter for Wyoming.
So just talking about how they were having trouble running the football, and that is great field. That looks like a running back right there. Jackson Hamilton picking his way through that Braves defense. You're going to see him get initial, not a lot of room working in there, but a nice jump cut, and then sidesteps a couple of guys and able to get to the end zone, stay north-south, even though he's going laterally a little bit there, kept at shoulder pads north-south.
Well, in case we were worried about Wyoming finding a running back for next year after Hancock graduates, I think they found that tonight.
Fitzgerald with the block there, and ends a streak. Wyoming now 41 of 43, I believe, on the season. And, it reminds me of a guy they had a few years back, Shields. This is going back about 10 years. But they always seem to have a guy like that,
Shields and Yarnell.
Not all going to be C.J. Hester or, Pearson Rogers or some of those guys, but they always have a guy that looks like that. 5'10", 200 pounds, something like that.
That's what you were in high school, wasn't it?
I'm still not that heavy now, Tom. Talking about Cincinnati and Cleveland this weekend. Toe, think about this. Tomorrow you're going to have St. Edward's at Moeller, and you're going to have St. Ignatius at St. Xavier. And then Sunday, of course, our Bengals are going to go up there and put it on Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns.
Well, as we get ready to start the fourth quarter, Braves down 23-0, and George Vollmer, Jake Freshwater going back here to receive the kickoff.
Yeah, you know, both these teams, very similar situation when they get in the playoffs. I think about last year, you know, Indian Hill and Wyoming both losing to Kettering Alter. That won't happen this year. Alter is terrible, but both teams, really the same thing happened to them. You just get into a situation where it gets physical. You can't run the ball, and you have to throw it. And
Short
can
kick.
you throw it? And tonight, Wyoming's proved they can, and Indian Hill so far has not proven that.
Is that trying to see across? That's Dylan Hartman that picked up the ball and advanced it. That's the second time that Wyoming's done a short kick here on the kickoff. The first time they did it, they recovered it.
So right now, you're looking at the end of the year. We talk about playoffs and playing good teams. Wyoming right now, #1 in Joe Edel's ratings for Division 4, Region 16. Indian Hill came in tonight at 5th, which honestly, Toe, the only loss was to a very good Harrison team, a D3 team that's #4 in the D3 rankings. Or I'm sorry, #3 in the D3 rankings.
Well, the key is that the Braves are going to need to win next week against Taylor to get a top 8 seed and get a home game.
Oh, boy.
Well, kind of out of.
He is just fighting through it, Toe.
Devlin Daniel.
I mean, you can tell right now he's got a little hitch in the giddy up, and he comes off that sideline like he's just not going to give in. If you're a Wyoming player or coach, you just have all the respect in the world for this guy, Devlin Daniel. Some of the names that you've seen in the past are back in this Region 16. We'll talk about it here in a minute. Daniel again with
keeps
the carry.
battling.
Yeah. Clinton Massey, with 2 losses, is the #2 team in the region, playing a really tough schedule. They'll be tested by the time they get there, and you know what they do, run the football. Valley View, #3, so you've got some really, really familiar faces. Indian Hill has played in the postseason in the past. Same thing with Wyoming. Taylor checks in at #11, and so you can imagine next week it'll be a battle between those two for the seeding.
Devlin gets the first down.
Sense of urgency, too, with Daniel. You watch him pop up after getting tackled, and he's ready to go. He knows this clock is ticking.
Well, again, Brian, while you talk about that, whereas the playoff berth for the Braves is secured, it's important to get a home game, and you need to be a top 8 seed in order to get that. And the Braves are going to need to beat Taylor next Friday night right here on IHTN in order to secure one of those top 8 seeds.
Until unlike Wyoming, who's going to be able to get healthy. I mean, you know, last week Coach Rodenberg talked about working on things. No disrespect to Finneytown, but talked about working on things and had some guys out of position trying to get better. Wyoming's going to have that opportunity going in the playoffs. This sets up very well for them against Finneytown next week at home on senior night.
Takes to Devlin.
Nice
the pass is at Brady Drost. Brady Drost. Brady's comes up a little, hobbling a little bit. I noticed him on the sidelines a little bit earlier, but now it's more pronounced. Looked like his right thigh. And he's coming out. Nice catch and run by Brady Drost. Brady Drost was an outstanding second baseman for the baseball Braves this year, and looking for more and better from him this coming spring. Zishel rolls to the right, throws it back to Devlin, but oh boy, that was smelled out. That's Johnson Huff with the tackle right as Devlin was trying to catch it, and as you said, Devlin bounces right up and wants to call the next play.
And so again, another guy, a sophomore, Tyler Johnson Huff. This Wyoming team loaded with young talent.
Good young players, yep. Zischel keeps it himself. Gets a block, gets another block, and dives forward. Doesn't get the first down, but gets about 7-8 yards.
So you got to love that, that craftiness by Zischel running behind Luke Steltenpole. It's almost like a basketball player gets a screen and then gets a rescreen.
Yeah.
He went one side of him, didn't like it, turned around, went back to the other side of Luke, and nice run there by Zischel.
3rd and 3. Keep it going. Devlin Daniel. They fake the pitch to, wide open. Jackson Fry with a chance there, is trying to run a little before he caught the ball and isn't quite able to handle it. But
yeah, and you see, some of that Fry, but some of that Zischel too. He almost looked like he tried to hand it to him from about 15 feet away. Just kind of shot putted that one over to him.
Well, from the 17-yard line, 4th and 3, the Braves will go for it.
Yep. Team game, Toe. Almost seems that there's always multiple reasons for almost everything that happens.
Devlin Daniel gets it, and he powers over for the first down, I believe. It's close, but I think he got it.
Took a shot from Zischel on the exchange, too. There's a little contact between the running back and the quarterback on that. It's kind of like you with the 3-wood. You always hit behind the ball to straighten it up.
So the Braves with 1st and 10 on the Wyoming 14-yard line, and a timeout by the official.
And so one of the things we're seeing tonight, this Braves offensive line, Rader at left tackle and Bass at left guard, and Steltenpole we talked about at the center position, and then that massive right side with Rippey and Hayes. All year they've had their way, with opponents at the line of scrimmage. And tonight it's been a battle. They've done a good job, but give credit to Wyoming, and that defensive front's made it tough. Braves trying to get on the board. That's important. You want to win the game, but you sure as heck don't want to get shut out on your home field.
Well, there's an official timeout. They're talking to Aaron Hancock on the sideline. Couldn't they talk after the game? Blue Bloods is starting soon.
That's right. Hey, would like to talk about Antoine Peak Jr. and the season he's having for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Not sure if you saw last week down at Central Florida. He's one of the top 7 players in the nation. There's a guy that always does my top 7 for the week, and Antoine was that guy. It's amazing how much he's playing down at UC. Teammates with Evan Prather down there.
Zischel. Go well. Ben Zischel dives forward, down to about the 6.
How much does Jess Hewer love the game of football, Toe? I mean, here's a guy that's battling on both sides, the right tackle for this team, and then the guy that's playing on that line and chasing Zischel all the way to the sideline. Shades of Tim Crumry right there.
He's a tremendous player.
He really is.
Of course, it helps when you have a big brother that was banging on you for a number of years too. But he's done a great job. He's again, offensive and defense. Hewer has been terrific, as his brother was.
Yep.
There's Devlin Daniel in for a touchdown.
Devlin Daniel, he's going to get it. He's going to get that touchdown.
I think he'd like to
it
get
doesn't
more
matter
than
if it's 100% of Devlin or if it's 80%. He's going to get that touchdown, Toe.
I know this doesn't mean a lot to Devlin. He obviously leads the league, and I believe he leads the city in rushing touchdowns.
All about winning right now.
Right,
and you can see him, the way he's stewing on that sideline. This is killing him. Yeah, we mentioned it before last year when Daniel and that one's going to be good.
Yeah.
Last year when Daniel and Ethan Cole came in and kind of changed the season for the Braves as young players, I think we mentioned at some point, those two guys weren't there to get their butt kicked. And Daniel is definitely not about that at any point for any reason in any scenario. And he has got a lot of fire right now.
And again, you mentioned Ethan Cole, and Ben Sitchel's been a warrior tonight. Running and passing and doing a nice job. Ethan Cole has obviously missed a very important part of this Braves offense and defense. He's a terrific linebacker as well, and we wish that he has a speedy recovery. He's an outstanding lacrosse player for the Braves lacrosse team, and hopefully he'll be fully healed before lacrosse season starts. But obviously a painful loss for the Braves to lose Ethan here at the back end of the season.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see Ethan the rest of this year. Hopefully we'll get healthy Devlin Daniel next week, and hopefully for the Cowboys, by the time they get into the playoffs, at least in the second week of the playoffs, they'll have a healthy Hancock toting the Brock.
Drew Seenan with kick. And a host of Braves there surrounding Donovan Brown.
Yeah, Brave special teams been very good. And continuing that here tonight.
Let's, it is a possibility. It's happened several years before, but the Braves and Wyoming could wind up playing again in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. We mentioned it. It happened in 15. It happened in 17, 18, and 19. So yeah, we could definitely see that. The only problem is all 4 times it's been sweeps, Toe.
Wyoming coming in kind of tight, just one wide out in this formation. Dupuis handing off to Jackson Hamilton, and
looks like Ewer's got a little ankle issue.
What's he doing that far downfield?
Athlete, Toe, athlete. Yeah, I mentioned sweeps all those years. Indian Hill coming out on the right side in 15. But the other 3 times Wyoming getting them.
And the clock is stopped. It started again. That's nice.
Officiating crew been very deliberate tonight. Very thoughtful.
That's a nice way of putting it. Dupuis handing it off to Jackson Hamilton. I don't think we've mentioned his name yet tonight. I think it's his 25th carry.
Yes, that's right. I think we've mentioned his name more than you. Well, I was going to say more than you've spent at Jackson or Hamilton, but who am I talking about? Good grief! Guy tell me on Monday that he spent just $1.70 eating all weekend.
The clock is stopped again. Any reason why the clock would be stopped? Oh, now it started. All right, that's great. That's the referees are finished with their tea and crimpets.
A little confusion back there between running back and a quarterback, and we're going to have motion because of it. 2 guys. That's kind of cheap. I don't think either side's looking for that flag.
What now? Okay, it's motion, yeah. So that moves it back now. So now instead of 3rd and 2, it's 3rd and 7.
So all I can say for the pace of the play right now is that thank goodness it's not 30 degrees.
Yeah. Well, next week we're right back here, the Braves against the Taylor Yellow Jackets, and again for late October, it's supposed to be balmy.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Yellow Jackets. Sophomore quarterback that can really spin it. I'm looking forward to seeing Aaron McFarland, see how much better he's gotten. Mike Branch. Look forward to them coming in.
Dupuis, that back to pass. He has some time, and nice catch there by Billy Lyons.
Yeah, Lyons able to body up on the defender and just basically like showing a hand, I'm open, and physically make that play. It's going to be a big deal in the playoffs, I think. You know, when they need to throw the ball, to have somebody that they can get it to. Taylor talking about them open enrollment school district. I mean, well, with the exception of the couple of years when Deer Park was open enrollment, you got Taylor and Reading, that ability to pull guys in, and it's going to be interesting going forward with the number of kids that move around these days.
Well, they Lions will not get credit for a catch. There was a penalty, a 5-yard penalty on Wyoming, and the band plays on.
Yes, they do.
3rd and 12.
So it seems like we've been around that spot on the field for quite a while.
Yep.
Nothing happening. Now they're going to run it again. And now we're going to stop it again.
And now timeout for Wyoming.
Yeah.
I guess they want to get the full
things
benefit.
gotten a little sloppy in the substitutions. A couple of times tonight, Wyoming players not ready to go into the game. And I know these Wyoming coaches have been on them about it.
Well, that's Wyoming's second time out of the half with one left. If you remember in the first half, they used their timeouts very well, but they were out of them with almost 8 minutes left to go in the half.
Yeah, you can win a game in the first half, and Wyoming did a nice job of being very considerate of what they were trying to do, and the big situations came, and it's good coaching staff. Just remarkable, though, you think about it now. Aaron Hancock going to move to 85-4 in the CHL. To give you some perspective, John Rodenberg right now 15-4. Perhaps going to go 15-5 in his third year. It's just incredible to go 13 years and only have 4 losses in the league.
Nice, 13 years. Then prior to that, he was an assistant at Wyoming for 11.
Yeah, I've been teaching there for 24 years.
In a row.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, you were on your teeter-totter when he started.
I'm still on.
Nice thrown ball, but broken up.
Yeah, another ball
by Evan Riggs.
Yeah, just could use a little loft on it. He had his big man Lyons in the middle of the field behind the defense. Nice play by Riggs to get a paw on it.
And that'll make it 4th and 12. And a punting situation.
And it's a guy that hadn't gotten a lot of work tonight as a punter, but Rummel with that first punt really, really made a huge difference. Braves had him pinned back at the 1-yard line. He's kicking out of the back or punting out of the back of his end zone. Got that ball on the other side of the field, flipped the field.
Devlin Daniel back to return the punt. He's going to let it bounce. No, he's not. He's going to pick it up and run out of bounds, but at midfield, the Braves will start the drive. With 5 minutes and 11 seconds remaining.
Well, stranger things have happened. 5 minutes left. You got a 16-point game. That's 2 possessions. So, that is a possibility. Braves got to move with a sense of urgency here. Take some chances, see if they can get down in the end zone.
Sichel and Daniel in the backfield. Then back to throw.
Nice little screen of their own.
To Devlin Daniel, and Daniel gets about 10 yards.
Tell you one thing tonight, Devlin's still running with physicality, but without his feet underneath him at the same level as normal. These Wyoming Cowboy defensive backs have caught a break, because I can tell you right now that play right there would have been a shoulder pad and somebody's face mask.
The 1st and 10 for the Braves. Sichel back to throw again. Nobody there. He's going to have to run, and he's going to get sacked.
Braves got to get up and get pace here.
Yep.
Receivers way down
Way
the
down,
field
yeah.
right now.
Yeah, which makes you think that it was going to be a deep pass.
Well, yeah, it might be, but you either got to let it go or you got to run something a little shorter.
Let it go. Let it go. Oh, just outside the reach there of Mr. Daniel. Well, Dupuis had was averaging about 15 throws per game this year. I think he threw well more than that this evening. I think he's probably up in the somewhere in the mid-20s.
Yeah.
And did a very nice job. Been given the opportunity. Came in completing only 56.6% of his passes, but did a really nice job at crunch time today. And there's a nice delivery.
So that's a
by
couple
Ben
of times tonight that
Freshwater.
Ben Sichel has rolled out to his right and just fired an absolute seed. Something for the Braves to look at as far as capabilities. That looks really good.
4th and 2. Devlin Daniel, and he is bottled up, and boy, is it close. It is really close.
So I am spotting that for a first down all day, every day. Let's go. Move the chains.
And they're going to bring him out. Bring him out. Looks like it's not much to bring out. You can see where it is. It's right on the 30-yard line. Boy.
You know, it's funny.
They're going to say he's short by an inch.
I'm watching the Wyoming kids over there.
Oh, they're giving him a first down.
First down, Toe. I told you a long
Well.
time ago. Hey, I'm watching Drew Bokian. He put his arm both ways. Absolutely hilarious. First down this way, first down this way.
You get a first down. You get a first down.
Yes, little Oprah Winfrey host. I like that. Drew, if you're not busy,
1st and 10
we
on
got
the
a
30.
syndication deal for you.
Sichel, and he's got room. Oh my.
Make a play. Fitzgerald down there in the end zone. Nice throw, actually, by Ben Sichel. That ball actually very catchable ball. Very nice job. Tough catch. Tough catch,
There you go.
especially with Fitzgerald draped with the coverage right there.
Now 2nd and 10 for the Braves from the Wyoming 30. Sichel, a little overthrown there to Dylan Hartman.
It's interesting till you watch like the throws that you see that he's comfortable with and that he makes, and the throws that are a little bit more difficult for him. And it wouldn't necessarily be the throws you think of. You know, his ability to roll out to his right and just fire it right on target, really amazing. And that ball that he threw in the end zone 2 plays ago, another ball that put that up with touch. That's a ball you can go get. Learn a little bit more about their quarterback tonight, and what to do and how to put him in good positions.
Gives it there to Dylan Hartman. Dylan gets up to the 20, and it's really close to a first down. We'll see if we get another measurement.
Nice yak right there, Toe, yards after catch.
Dylan Hartman, a heck of an athlete.
That's not just you when you invite people over for dinner.
They're going going to call it 4th and short. And who's going to get the ball but Devlin Daniel. And he breaks it. And he gets down to the 5. It's his longest run of the night.
It's a winner, Toe. Still convinced that this team, if they just hustle, can get back in this.
Sissel rolling to his right. Nobody open. He's getting crushed. Oh, my goodness. Devlin Daniel tried to hold one of them off, but can only do so much. And
So that's a play as he gets more experience.
Timeout, Indian Hill.
They give him more reps, and he's on the field. That's when he just throws away. Stop the clock. Keep the yardage. Don't take the hit.
Coach just called timeout for the Braves, so the Braves with 2 remaining. Wyoming still with 1 remaining.
Yeah, and you could see it, Toe, the last several weeks when we're doing games, you could see the Braves trying to get the passing game going, trying to get guys comfortable, trying to figure out what fit with this team. And that's everything. That's the pass protection, that's the receiving group. It's not just a quarterback. Braves still trying to figure it out a little bit here. But I think tonight they got a good look at some things that I think put their kids in position to be successful. Coach Reardon, I know he's putting in the hours, doing a terrific job. Of course,
the Braves line up with 3 wide
great
on the
run
left.
at Reading.
Yep. Oh, little razzle-dazzle there. And George Vollmer gets in the end zone. Devlin Daniel flipping it to George Vollmer, and George Vollmer makes it into the end zone, and the Braves have a chance. There's still a pulse.
So you got to love the way that Vollmer attacks this at the end. He's taking that right hand, and he's going to spin and put that in there. And uh-oh, looks like we got a little bit of a left arm injury.
Holding his left arm, yeah. So the Braves down 10, going for 2 here. And you say there's a chance.
Well, there definitely is, and it all starts right here. But you're going to have a lot of things go right for you. The first of which is you're going to have to get this 2-point conversion, or this remains a 2-possession game.
Yeah. So the Braves break the huddle. 2 flank to the right, 1 to the left. Sissel looking, and he's throwing it to Devlin Daniel, and there's no room, but Devlin bulls, and he is out of bounds on the half-yard line. And that will be it.
I like the call, Toe.
Yep.
I like the call a lot, and, nice job by Sitchell to get it out to him, and just too many defenders over there.
Yep.
Daniel did his part. Everybody did a nice job there, including the Wyoming Cowboys, who keep him out of the end zone, and for all intents and purposes, Toe, that's going to make it really tough.
Yeah. So the Braves down 10 with just 2:05 left. Braves with 2 timeouts left. Onside kick most likely is in the works. Devlin Daniels has played his tail off. His stats are not what he normally gets, but boy, has he played a heroic game today, both offensively and defensively, and special teams as well.
You got that right. And I think the thing that, everybody knew, if he'd come into this game and run for 200 yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, whatever, if he'd have put up big stats, I think everybody would have said, well, that's what he does. But you got to see a different side of him tonight where he's not playing at 100%. He haven't gotten hurt on that punt return in the first half. And, you're just seeing the person right now, and it's as impressive as the stats.
Here's the onside kick, and it will go out of bounds. So Wyoming will get the ball around midfield with 2:05 left in the game, and guess who comes back on the field on defense? Number 5 for the Braves.
Just didn't get the, sometimes, I hate to say it, sometimes it's just the luck of the draw on that onside kick. If you can get the nose of the ball to catch the turf, and if you don't, that's what's going to happen. But you want to kick it hard enough like he did so that if that nose catches the turf, it's going to pop up and be anybody's ball.
Well, that's Drew Seenan, and he's really done very, very well for the Braves this year, coming over from the soccer team and playing both sports here this fall. Probably hasn't had a whole lot of opportunity to kick onside kicks like that, and
right.
But yeah, I'm with you. You do want to put a little oomph on it, and unfortunately, it went out of bounds. There's Jackson Hamilton.
Good no call by the referees. Hewer lost his cool there for a second, but they're going to just move on, keep that clock moving, and I'll look forward. I mean, back-to-back games at home. It's been a while, since the Braves have stacked them up here at home. Back out here against Taylor.
Yeah, well, we didn't have the Madeira game because of a power outage. We weren't able to broadcast that game. It's Jackson Hamilton, and he'll get sent down, and the Braves will use a timeout with $1:13 left in the game. 3rd and 9. Braves call a timeout, and yeah, this Taylor game next week should be a good one for the Braves, and again, a very, very important one to get a first-round home game in the OHSAA playoffs.
Yep, going to have senior night as well, and it's always important to go out with a win, whether it's your last home game or not. It just has that feel as the last regular season game of the year. Of course, Cowboys will be having the same thing against Finneytown. Yep, got to tip your cap, Toe. That Cowboy offense just had a lot of different facets to it tonight.
They really responded. Their star running back gets hurt, and they buckled up and did a really, really nice job. And the Braves battled valiantly, but didn't quite have enough. There's Jackson Hamilton again for Lord knows how many carries that is now, and there's a flag on the field. It's on the Braves. And it's a personal foul.
Well, Toe, that's going to
pretty much
wrap it up and be able to take a knee at this point.
It's all over but the Ben Gay.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, Devlin Daniel, I'm sure, is going to be in with Terry quite a bit this week. Getting a little treatment. Terry Conti does a terrific job for the Braves. Been here for a while, and her Browns are going to get thrashed on Sunday. And I feel bad for her. You have to call her on Monday and tell her a joke, try to cheer her up. Of course, she doesn't care about that right now. Her Indians are still alive. Guardians, Tom. Come on, keep
you grounded.
Yeah, keep me squared up.
All right. 1st and 10 for Wyoming, and they're getting into victory formation. There's one. They'll have to do it one more time. And Wyoming will, in essence, win the league. They'll take it back. The Braves took it from them last year and went undefeated in the league, and it looks like Wyoming will be able to do that again this year. And again, the hope is the Braves can play a little better against Taylor next week and get a home game in the playoffs and maybe play Wyoming again and fare a bit better. But congratulations to the Wyoming Cowboys. Nice job. And again, the Braves a little disappointing, but again, we got next week and hopefully several more weeks in the playoffs to go.
So right now, this whole week is about turn the page, take a look at what you did, get yourself ready for Taylor, and most of all, get yourself healthy.
Well, we really thank you for joining us tonight. Sorry about the technical issues that we had at the beginning of the game, but hopefully you stayed here and enjoyed it with us. For all the people behind the scenes, Denny Dupps and his incredible crew, for the production guys, and I'm Tony Harris here with Brian Shaw, and remember, all people are born alike except for Republicans and Democrats. Good night, everybody.
Exclusive coverage of tonight's game on the Indian Hill Television Network has been a copyrighted presentation of the Indian Hill High School Video Department.